All right. Hi, Henrico.
Hello.
Hi. How do you want to sit?
Like this.
Okay. Perfect. So, how are you today? How is your week? How are you feeling?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Had a bit of a hectic week. Finished my AI paper. Did an interview just now. Went all right, and yeah, like it was a proper weekend day. Start of the weekend. Like it's okay.
Cool. Do you mind if I take notes?
No, it's
Okay. So, what can I help you with today?
So it got me thinking that I wanted to go into consulting because at my home campus in San Francisco, I kind of figure out that hey, that's actually kind of cool, and this might be a passion of mine. But now I've kind of realized that the moment it becomes a little bit tougher, since I'm going to Vienna and I don't speak German, and then as a consultant going to clients who only speak German and you're not able to speak German, it's very weird. I just happened to notice that I gave, or like not give up, but that I switched towards my old job in sales and marketing sooner than like being hardcore. Yes, I'm gonna go into consulting. I don't care how hard it is. I'm like, it seems like I found out I don't care as much as I thought I did, or I'm not as passionate as I thought I was. Something like that.
Um, okay. So let me just summarize that one more time, because you question your passion regarding consulting since you developed that idea in San Francisco, and now once it gets a bit tougher, in your own words, you named that there's a language barrier, that you drift into default mode back to your own to your initial specialization into marketing and sales, and that makes you wonder, is that really the right way that I'm taking, or what is the question that you have?
Yeah, kind of. It's just my the question that goes on in my head. Why do I not pursue consulting uh, more or harder instead of now opening up so many? Like now, I'm literally like, okay, consulting would be great, but that's just a what if scenario. I'm just gonna go for the big international companies because that's kind of the easier way, and my chances are bigger because it's kind of yeah, it's kind of a consultant in a German-speaking country who doesn't speak German. I think I might have to learn German first before I can even start.
Okay. Let me ask more about your fears. You listed the language, one of your fears. What are other fears that make job search in a consultant company or like in a consulting world tough for you?
So, which question was it?
What makes it tough for you?
Consulting or?
Yeah, in to pursue consulting, in the consulting area to find a job there? Because you described it as the moment it gets tougher, it's harder for me to stick to consultant. What is tough?
That's that most of the job applications are in German and require a native German tongue, or at least fluent, and kind of like that. If that's what they require and I can't offer them, the options of consultancy jobs are very limited.
Mhm. Are there other obstacles other than the language barrier?
Nope. Or like experience maybe because it's going to be junior role. Like if I don't have any consulting experience.
Which of these two example obstacles would you rate as bigger? Which is
Language.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just as a summarize, maybe in a probing question, and like maybe to test what I understand so far, you're more afraid of the German language in Austria, that is an impact. What would happen? Is that correct?
No.
Then help me clarify it, please.
I'm not necessarily scared of the language. Like I can understand the language for a big deal already, for a big part already. It's just I can't speak it back, which is the issue. I'm not afraid to learn. I'm not afraid to speak. Everything opposed to that, but it's just that the job itself requires German, and I cannot offer that. So then there's no way it could work, basically.
From what I understand, since you cannot offer German in a consulting job, is German needed in marketing and sales?
Less likely. Because, I mean, if you go to the smaller local, so for instance, if you would go to a big four, it would probably be possible that a non-German speaking person would work there. But probably in tax, because tax is way bigger. Not in advisory, which is the branch I want to go into. But if you go to a bigger international company, sales, marketing, way bigger. And that's probably the area where my chances are highest. And maybe I'm also more statistically looking, where do I have the best chances? And then I just want to explore those instead of like trying endless shots at bigger firms in consulting or smaller firms.
Mm-hmm. So how does it feel letting go of consulting in favor of marketing and sales?
Bad.
Can you describe that?
Like, I don't want to, because that's what I did, and it's now not what I'm gonna do, or like what might happen that I'm not gonna do, or is postponed in a way. Like, I wanted to switch to consulting. I don't even know if I like it, but that's what I wanted to do next.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I know because of the decisions my girlfriend and I made, there's going to be some sacrifices, and if that is working in like a big international company for the first 1 or 2 years to learn German and then go towards a consulting job, that's okay. Like, I realized the sacrifices, and I realized like that I made it myself a bit harder. But that's also something, like, I want to learn German also because I think it's cool to have a third language you're fluent in, to be able to talk to my girlfriend's family, and that I can just like work there in the job I want to do.
Mm-hmm. So let me summarize that. You were talking about different options that would get you into the consultancy job. So first would be doing a different job beforehand and then gaining time to learn German, because this is a definite requirement for the consulting jobs. And thus stepping down a bit on your wants and on your desired outcomes for the favor of a what's that name? That the gratification is granted later. Gratification in this sense being the consultancy jobs.
Mm-hmm.
What could be other options to do right now to tackle the language problem?
Learning it now, learning it already, starting in advance. However, I mean, I do not wanna start, but I'm not gonna get fluent in like the next like 1.5 months, basically.
Do you need to be fluent in the next 1.5 months?
I think for most consultancy jobs, probably. So, I mean, it's not that I'm not going to try, because due to a LinkedIn post, now I have a connection in EY and Deloitte, which are both really like big four companies, and they're like, if you speak English, that's fine. Because I also asked the same guy, hey, is it common to just speak English? He mentioned, yes, clients always in English. However, among colleagues themselves, when they're all German, they speak German. Completely understandable. Mm-hmm. So it's not like all hope's forgotten, all hope's is lost, but it was just a realization point, because I think of the other interview just now about passion, that I wonder why I did something similar or the same. Like, I wish I would have fought for it a bit more, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Describe me the fighting process a bit more. Like, how would you have wished to fight for it?
Maybe pursue it like more. Maybe it's also just when, like, I mean, I just started with the big four in my list, right? Looking at jobs, all German, no go. Then I started looking at smaller consultancy firms, all German, no go. Then I just happened, to stumble across Coca-Cola, stumble across Apple, stumble across Unilever, and obviously then it's like, okay, maybe I should do that instead. Mm-hmm. And then I found another smaller consultancy firm, applied to them, got rejected, and then you're like, yeah, maybe it's better then to just go for the bigger international companies.
So to recall, summarize a bit, you did collect several data points. As you used the word stumbled, I assume it is not consistent. So you were like looking here a bit, looking there a bit. Is that correct? Or did you have like a plan? Like this is the list I want to work through. This is the things.
Yeah, I'd say it was structured. I had a list of consulting companies to start with, and kind of after checking all the big four and all other big consultancy firms, I found out like there are almost no English speaking vacancies, and I think the people who are in a similar position as me get in even though they don't speak German when they know someone. Someone grabs their resume, puts it in front of his boss. That's a great guy. Hire him. And I think that's what you need to get in. I think it's not impossible, but very hard to do it any other way.
How could you work on this personal connections? To find somebody to slip in your resume?
Well, I mean, due to everything what happened, I haven't. I mean, I can now. Like, I have my way in through EY and Deloitte, basically. I have a reference letter from a colleague of mine I worked with in Alokakok in Shanghai, who now works in PwC in Indonesia. So that's another Big Four recommendation. So I figure my chances have increased significantly. Aside from that, another network connection I made through a Holt student in San Francisco said that it's really great if you add a German version of your resume, even if it's like the crappiest German you know. Just try it, Google Translate it, you know, like whatever. Or give them, when you're done with it and you practice, you try, then let my German girlfriend read over and she can give her opinion and fine tune the German as good as she can. And that seemed like already a great way to start. And that, I mean, made me more confident that I still have a shot at one of like either EY or Deloitte at least.
Let me recall back to that German CV as one of the options that you just named. And also the connection personally, they have to, you mentioned EY and Deloitte, that you have your way in already. Do you see these, do you recognize these as successes, or how do you feel about it?
No.
Wait, how do you, without successes, close question, sorry. Like, how do you feel about these?
I mean, it's great that I have them, but it doesn't prove anything. I'm not done, I'm not successful, I'm not finished until I get the job. So how great it is that I have a lead, it's still just a lead.
So what is the next step after the lead?
Now it's writing a application letter, applying at a job at EY and Deloitte, maybe or multiple, like let's see what they have. I'll probably need some translation assistance since the jobs are all in German. But then when I finish my German resume, send my resume in English and my motivational letter in English, because that's probably going too far if I also do that in German. And that will be the next step. Like the first two companies on my list are also EY and Deloitte to apply to.
So when do you think can you tackle, or like can you finish these tasks?
I want to have the German resume done by tomorrow, at least my version. Then I want to look over it with my girlfriend, and as my girlfriend is native German and very smart, she will probably have looked it over within like 10 minutes or half an hour.
Okay, that sounds good. And then you mentioned also that you want to apply at Deloitte and EY. When is that done?
When is that done? I have no set date. Let's see. It's Saturday now. Tomorrow I want to have my German version done. Then I'd say maybe Sunday night or Monday. Let's give it till Tuesday. No, that's not. Then we're going to, it's like Independence Day thingy. So it'll probably take.
Guys?
With productivity planning.
You froze.
Let's see. Better?
Oh, you got frozen. Okay, now you're good.
Okay. But I think the trip might have blocked the productivity for the moment. Like I just kind of want to say like I'll get as far as I can get with the time I have. I know that tonight I'll just be chilling mostly because I feel I need it. after spending like the last 16 hours of the no, that's not true. Maybe the last 8 hours of the last 24 hours working on my AI paper, and I just feel like I just need some chill time, clean the apartment and stuff with my girlfriend, and just to zen out a bit. And then tomorrow morning, before going to the Pride Parade in New York, I think that's the time I would want to do my German stuff, German city. And whenever I apply, like, I don't know, whenever I get the time again to write a application letter.
What do you think is the most realistic time frame?
Probably 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because we have decision making on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so Sunday will be the first day. We'll probably have available.
Okay, then I would say that fits perfectly with our coaching schedule because we're going to meet each other in 2 weeks.
Really? Oh!
And then I'm more than happy to see about your progress.
I will blow you away.
Thank you.
All right.
Feedback.
Very well. Okay, so let's see. So, okay, yeah, very nice ice break. The only thing that wasn't very clear, like, I know there was some sort of goal, but it wasn't maybe verbally stated that clearly. So we know it was about the job and finding the job, but maybe it would be good to have it more so like textually, said to make it more clear.
Okay.
Then Melanie, you summarized a couple of times. That was good because there were like many things that were said, and Henrico was like naming all these companies and things that he's done. So it was good. And at some point, even you misunderstood something. So it was useful that you summarized to clarify. So that was great. So what else? What I really liked is that you slowly kind of took him to this path for him to organize, because he was kind of, I don't know, yeah, maybe I'll do it. Like, he wasn't really thinking of a timeline. So the only thing he had clear was that by tomorrow he wanted to do his German CV. But regarding the other things, he was like, I don't know, maybe we'll see. It's true. There's like this like party or whatever going on. And so it was good that you helped him like put some sort of timeline to these tasks. And I don't know, I guess that made him feel a bit more calm and at ease, because for what I understood, this is kind of an overwhelming topic, and there's many factors influencing it, since the language to the distance and many things. And before that, also what I like, yeah, I would have liked also, because you were asking him about the language, and then was like, do you need to be fluent? I was like, yeah, kind of, yes. So, but then at the same time, he didn't want to start learning it from now until then. I don't really know why. Oh yeah, he said, it's not that he doesn't want to start, but he's not gonna be like fluent by then, right now. So I would have liked to maybe understand why, if you have some time now to like get better, and this is something that is kind of bothering you or something that you need, why is it that you're not starting now? Like, what's stopping you of starting as soon as possible? Mm-hmm. If it's something that it's so important at the same time. So kind of a conflict of interest there. It would have been interesting to see a bit more of that maybe. What else? But yeah, in general, yeah, it was interesting. I'm sorry, I'm reading my notes.
Yeah, don't worry.
So yeah, so there was like the language and the job thing that was kind of stressing him. Then he mentioned that about the big companies and the smaller companies, and he said something about being rejected with the smaller companies. So maybe since he kind of already knows what he has to do, to see what's like stopping him of already doing it, and why is he taking like longer than shorter to do it if it's something that is kind of immediate, But I think it was in general good, and it was very fluent, and I think you asked the right questions, and it was clear that you were listening to what he was saying, because the questions were directly linked to his previous answer. So I think that was really good, and you, in that way, by doing that, you maintained the flow of the conversation, therefore managed to get to this conclusion of, okay, by this date I will be able to do this. And so I think that was great. So yeah, that's my feedback.
And just to add, as the coachee, I think the talk was pretty good. Like, I was able to identify the goal, the reality, the option question, and the will forward to like have the next step for the next meeting. the goal was indeed not 100% clear. Maybe also because I didn't know exactly what the goal was going to be because it was kind of a long story. So maybe define the goal as simply as in one sentence. Maybe that would be a nice measurement. Like goal, one sentence, what is it? And one thing that made me feel uneasy was when you once summarized. You said, "Okay, let me just summarize," and then you mentioned the last thing I said and continued on that, which gave me the feeling she's not listening because she just said the last thing that I said and then focused her question based on that. That's the only thing.
Okay. And also, yeah, sorry, like regarding the goal, it's true. Maybe it's normal that at the beginning, the person who is being coached doesn't really know. So that's okay. But maybe at some point throughout the conversation to bring that again. So, okay, what's your goal or what do you want to get out? So maybe let them talk a bit, think, and then like bring it again. So maybe it's more clear for them then.
Perfect. Nice.
Yeah.
Helpful.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Cool.